Okay guys, this week we are reviewing how text features and graphic features in stories and books we read, how those things help us as a reader. Okay, we can gain a lot of understanding and learn a lot of important information if we study the text features and the graphic features that have been added to text. So just to review, text features are any part of the text. Remember, text is that's the words in the story. Any part of the text, such as a label, a caption, a special font. We looked at italics before. That's when the words actually look like they're kind of leaning over a little bit. Okay, a special font that's being used, a sidebar. So that's like where they give you a little more information to the side. Okay, so those are all text features that you might see when you read a story. Graphic features are the pictures and diagrams that help explain the main information from the text. Okay, so there's a few different types of text features. Navigators help you locate information. The table of contents is considered a navigator. The index in the back of the book. If you remember from a few weeks ago, the index is where you look to find a specific topic. It'll tell you exactly what page you can find a specific topic in the book. Glossaries help you know what words mean from the story. Okay, all these other things, menus, hyperlinks, and icons, those are something you might see more on websites. Types of print are special text features, okay? You may see bold words. We learned before that bold words usually means that this word is very important. So you need to really study that word and make sure you understand it because it's an important word in the text. Italics, you may see certain words highlighted or underlined. Again, when you see these special fonts, it tells the reader a word or phrase is important. Okay, and then of course we have our visual features, those graphic features. These features add meaning and help readers understand the text. Tables, maps, photographs, diagrams, graphs, and timelines are all examples of these visual or graphic features that can be added to stories. So today what we're going to do, since we've already covered text features, I'm going to quickly review what some of the text features are and why you might see those in a story, and then you guys are going to go on a kind of a scavenger hunt looking for these features in a story. So if you remember, we just reviewed that the author uses bold words and maybe even italics or a special font to get the reader's attention to tell you that a word or phrase is really important. A caption tells more information about a photograph. So you're going to find a caption near a photograph or a picture in a story, and the caption tells you more about what is going on in the picture. For example, this caption says, "Thousands evacuate after the eruption of Mount Kivil." I think is what that mountain's called. But anyway, like I said, this caption here gives me more information about the picture. Okay. Titles, the title gives you the topic of the article or the book. A heading, we see these a lot in nonfiction stories. Headings tell what each section of the book, story, or article is mostly about. It's important to study the headings as a reader because that heading is going to tell you what information you're going to find in each section of the text. The glossary is where we look to figure out what words mean. If you read a story and you saw a word in the story and you didn't know what it meant, check the glossary and it can help you understand the word's meaning. It'll give you the definition. And of course, the table of contents is usually found at the beginning of a story, and it's a navigator again. It helps you locate information. You can look down the list of topics in the book, and over here it tells you what page to find each of the topics. Alright, so those are just a few of the text features you're going to be looking for today, but you're going to see in our story this week that there's many other text features, and text and graphic features have been added to these stories for a very specific reason. The author doesn't just randomly put them in there. As you study a story like the one we're going to read this week, which is titled "A Tree is Growing" by Arthur DeRose, and it's illustrated by S.T. Schindler. Okay, this story is informational text, so that means we're going to be learning facts and information. probably about trees, I'm guessing, based on the title. So as you study this story this week, you're going to see a lot of added features, both text features and graphic features, that the authors put in the story to help you as a reader understand and learn all the information possible as you read along. So what you're going to do is you're going to pull out your textbook in a few minutes, and you're going to go to page 73, which is where you're going to find the story, and you're going to go on a scavenger hunt. You're going to have a page like this, and every time you find a special text or graphic feature in the story, you're going to chart it on your paper. You're going to tell me what kind of feature it was, what page you found it on, and how this text or graphic feature helped you as a reader. What did you learn from those added features? For example, I'm going to do an example for you. On page 79, the author added this little diagram here of a branch. Inside the branch, you see water traveling up the branch. So as we read the text below, it says a tree needs sunlight, air, soil, and water to grow. Water travels through passages in the trunk and branches up to the leaves. The water moves up the trunk as if it's being sucked through a straw. Okay, so that's what the text tells us, and the author included this diagram here to help me as a reader understand how the water travels through the branches. Okay, so it's just a visual. It helps me understand the information that was written below. So I'm going to write all that down on my chart. So I'll go back to my chart. I'm going to say on page 79, I found a what? What kind of feature was that? It was a diagram. Because if you remember, diagrams are pictures with labels that help explain something. Okay, so it's a diagram found on page 79. What did I learn from that diagram? I learned how water travels through the branches, which again is what the author wrote about in that section right below the diagram. But having that visual, that diagram with the labels and the arrow and the pictures, helped me understand better. Let me understand the text a little easier. So you guys are going to continue on. Think about all the text features we've learned about, and as you're reading through the story today, you're like a detective on a scavenger hunt. Anytime you see a special text feature, I want you to write it down on your chart. Tell me what kind of text feature it was, what page you found it on, and what you learned from that text feature. How did it help you as a reader? And when we're finished, we're going to come together and we're going to give everyone a chance to share out some of their findings.